Maybe the house is a total loss and you have to find living somewhere else. The company will pay a percentage of your dwelling policy again for you to go to a hotel for a couple nights while the fire gets cleaned up, or find an apartment for the next couple months while that rebuild starts at your house.
Hey there, folks. Welcome again. Cameron Stewart here with eXp Realty out of Rome, New York, serving you right here in the Mohawk Valley. I'm again joined by Turnbull from Turnbull Insurance Services in the great city of New Hartford. Stephen, how are you doing today?
Doing well, Cameron. Thanks for having me again.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Today we're going to go over the main points of a homeowner's insurance policy. Now, please be advised, we're going to simply list them off today, give you a little bit of information. Please check back into future videos because we're going to be breaking down each one of these into greater detail. So hopefully you can be as experienced with it as Stephen Turnbull is. Alrighty. So Stephen, I've got a couple here. Let's start with dwelling. That's the first one, right?
Yeah. And let's just, again, start this off by what Cameron said, is that these are just a few pieces of the puzzle. These are a few things that you should be aware of. There's many factors that go into your homeowner's policy. Just want to put that out there.
Awesome.
The dwelling. So the dwelling is obviously the house itself, the structure. So we talked about in previous videos and future videos that you'll see the different types of policies that you can put on your dwelling. But the dwelling amount is the amount that you and the insurance company agree on to insure your piece of property. So the dwelling part of the policy is the house itself. So the next part of the policy is personal property. So this is all of your stuff, for lack of better terms, that you bring into the house. So it's your furniture, your clothing, pots and pans, anything that's not attached to the dwelling itself, all of your personal property. Generally, this is about 70% of the dwelling is automatically included. You have a $100,000 insurable house, you're going to get $70,000 automatically. That number does change a little bit from 70 to 80, depending on the company, but generally that's a good starting point. The next part of the policy is other structures. So this is another automatic percentage of that dwelling amount. And this covers your small sheds. Maybe it's a fence or different types of other structures that are not attached to the property itself. Attached garages are going to be considered part of that dwelling amount because it's attached. But if you have a detached garage, if you have other structures, it's important to make sure that the percentage that you automatically get based on your dwelling amount, which is usually 10%. So if we're talking with a $100,000 house example, still, you're looking at like $10,000 automatically included. If you have a $40,000 pole barn, we can certainly schedule that specifically. And again, cannot stress enough the importance of sitting down, talking to your agent, telling him about that pole barn, telling him about the different risks that you have at the time of setting up your policy. The next part we wanted to talk about is loss of use. And this is a coverage that not a lot of people realize because fortunately it's not used too often, but this is when there's really those large losses and you maybe can't live in your house for a couple weeks, a couple months. Maybe the house is a total loss and you have to find living somewhere else. The company will pay a percentage of your dwelling policy again for you to go to a hotel for a couple nights while the fire gets cleaned up, or find an apartment for the next couple months while that rebuild starts at your house. So again, these are parts of the pie that we talk about in the homeowners policy that are included, but good to know and understand where those limits fall. And then there's the liability portion of the policy. This includes the personal liability for you as the property owner. If I come over, Cameron, you invite me over for dinner and I slip and fall and I'm angry that you didn't salt the driveway and want to sue you or something, this protects you on the liability front. And then we'll talk about, just lastly here, the endorsements on your homeowner's policy. These are the different toppings to the pizza that we talk about. There's water backup coverage, making sure you have replacement costs on your personal property. There's many different things that you can add on. Another example we talk about is the fully loaded Cadillac versus your base model Chevy. Not that there's anything wrong with the base model Chevy, but maybe you want those leather seats. Maybe you want the heated seats and the ones that can drive themselves for you these days. But that's the difference with these endorsements, is it's adding different things onto your insurance policy. Lastly, Cameron, and I will stop my rant here, is the deductible. We talk about this a lot. So the deductible, you can decide how much risk you're willing to transfer. So you may want to have a higher deductible. Maybe you're handy around the house. If something small happens, you're going to take care of it yourself instead of reporting a claim. Or you want to have a lower deductible because you want the insurance to kick in. So just a couple different things of walking through what the homeowner's policy looks like. And again, folks, feel free to reach out to me if you have any specific questions, because there are so many different factors that fall into it.
And how do they get in contact with you if they wanted to reach out to you, Stephen?
Best way would be by phone. Office number here is 315-735-9201.
Awesome. Now, remember, folks, like we mentioned, we're going to dive into greater detail on these individual topics in future videos. So please like and share these videos. Even if you're not ready to buy a house or you're not interested in insurance at this moment in time, you probably have a friend or family member who is. We're trying to help as many people out as we can. So please share these videos, tag a friend in them, reach out to us if you need us, but please tune into future videos because we will be diving into more detail on these individual topics. So folks, there we have it. We appreciate you spending some time with us today. Stephen, thank you for joining us and helping me out with this because I'm in way over my head. And, you know what you're doing. So thanks again. And folks, until next time, it was a pleasure and we will talk to you guys soon.